If you are a mother, if you have a daughter sleeping in the next room right now, stop everything and listen very, very carefully. My name is Anjali Sharma. I am 40 years old, a school teacher from Lucknow. For 18 years, I slept next to a man the entire mohalla called the perfect father. Every Sunday, he took our daughter Kiara to the temple, made her smiley face parathas, dropped her to dance class, posted proud papa photos on Instagram, the kind of father every Indian girl dreams of. But one burning summer night in 2024, I did something no mother ever wants to do. I hid a tiny camera in my 14-year-old daughter's bedroom. What that camera showed me at 11:47 p.m. destroyed every single thing I believed about love, family, marriage, and the man I called my husband. I watched the father of my child, the man who tied Rakhi on her wrist, every Raksha Bandhan, walk into her dark room, sit on her bed, and do things so evil that even writing them here makes my hands shake. If you are just starting this video, please hold your heart. What you are about to hear is every Indian mother's deepest, darkest terror come true. If this story is already breaking you, hit the like button right now. It helps another mother find this video before it's too late for her child. Subscribe and turn on the bell because I'm going to tell you every single detail so no other daughter suffers in silence. And please, in the comments, tell me which city are you watching from and what time is it there right now? Knowing mothers across India are listening gives me the strength to speak. Because what happened in my house can happen in any house, even yours. Let's begin. Let me take you back to when our life looked straight out of a Karan Johar movie. The kind where the heroine gets the perfect husband and the cutest baby and everyone lives happily ever after. That was us, at least on the outside. Rajesh and I first met in 2005 through shadi.com. Yes, arranged cum love, the classic Indian story. My father was a retired bank manager. His father owned 3 cloth mills in Kanpur. The horoscopes matched, the families loved each other, and within 6 months we were married in a grand ceremony at Taj, Lucknow. I still remember wearing that heavy red lehenga, feeling like the luckiest girl in the world because Rajesh was tall, fair, soft-spoken, and already earning more than most men twice his age. Everyone in the mandap whispered, "Anjali kitni lucky hai." Kiara arrived in March 2010, a tiny 2.8 kilogram bundle, with the loudest cry the nurse had ever heard. When the doctor placed her in Rajesh's arms, I saw tears rolling down his cheeks. He looked at me and said in the most serious voice, "Anjali, from today, my life has only one purpose, to keep this little girl safe and happy forever." I believed him. Why wouldn't I? He was my husband, my partner, the man I prayed for every morning at the Tulsi plant. And for years, he kept that promise, or so I thought. He was that father, the one other mothers secretly envied. Every single morning at 5:30 sharp, even in freezing Lucknow winters, Rajesh would wake up first, warm Kiara's milk, add exactly 2 spoons of Bournvita the way she liked, and wake her up with a kiss on the forehead. Saturday mornings were sacred. Aloo parathas with smiley faces, made from tomato ketchup. Mickey Mouse ears from butter. Kiara would squeal with joy and take photos to post on her kiddie Instagram account. Yes, we made one when she was 5. Sundays were father-daughter dates. Rajesh would dress her in matching outfits. He actually bought father-daughter coordinated kurtas and take her to Janeshwar Mishra Park for ice cream, then to the Hanuman temple. He would carry her on his shoulders the entire way back, so her chappals wouldn't get dirty. The auto drivers knew them by name. Rajesh ji aur unki gudiya aa gaye. School functions, front row always. Whether it was Kiara's first nursery rhyme performance or her Bharatnatyam Rangstram at age 10, Rajesh would take half-day leave, record everything on his phone, and cry like a baby when she finished. He kept every single medal, every drawing, every report card in a special Godrej cupboard with a tiny lock. He called it Kiara's treasure. Neighbors worshipped him. Auntie next door would say, "Beta, ऐसे husband तो आजकल dreams में भी नहीं मिलते." My own colleagues at school would tease me. "Anjali ma'am, आपके husband तो Bollywood hero से भी better हैं." Even Kiara's friends called him cool papa. When she started dance classes, Rajesh learnt a few steps himself, just so he could practice with her at home. I have videos of them dancing to Cutie Pie in the living room, both giggling like children. I was proud. So proud. I would forward his photos to my cousins with captions like, "World's best papa." I genuinely believed I had won the husband lottery that every Indian girl is told to pray for. We were that family. The one people pointed at during evening walks. शर्मा जी का घर, देखो कितनी खुशी है वहाँ. Joint family WhatsApp groups were full of our pictures. Diwali pujas, holy colors, Kiara's birthdays with 3-tier cakes, Rajesh lifting her so she could light the tallest diya. Perfect. Picture perfect. Little did I know that behind those same perfect photos, behind those same loving smiles, something monstrous was growing in the darkness of our own home. Something that would make me question every single memory, every single hug, every single "I love you" Rajesh ever said. Because the man who cried holding our newborn daughter, the man who carried her on his shoulders so her feet wouldn't get dirty, that same man was waiting for the clock to strike 11 p.m. every night to become someone I didn't recognize. And the worst part? I was the one encouraging Kiara to spend more time with him. "Beta, पापा इतना busy रहता है, थोड़ा time दो ना उसके साथ." Those words still haunt me. I pushed my daughter straight into the arms of her abuser. If you're a mother watching this and something feels even slightly off with your child, please don't do what I did. Don't brush it away as teenage mood swings. Like this video right now, share it with every parent. You know, because the next part of my story is where everything started crumbling, and I didn't even realize it was happening right under my nose. It started so slowly that I almost missed it, like a tiny crack in a glass that you only notice when the light hits it at the right angle. But once I saw it, I could never unsee it. Kiara turned 13 in March 2023. We threw a big party. Pink balloons, chocolate fountain, all her dance classmates. She was glowing that day, twirling in her lehenga, laughing with her friends. That was the last time I remember my daughter looking truly carefree. Within weeks, everything changed. First, the food. Kiara, who could finish 3 parathas in one go and still ask for dessert, suddenly started picking at her plate. Dinner time became a battle. She would push the dal around, take 2 bites of roti and say, "Bas mummy, pet bhar gaya." In 2 months, she lost almost 8 kilos. Her beautiful round cheeks became hollow. Her collarbones sharp like knife edges. When I asked, "Beta, are you eating properly at school?" she would just shrug and say, "Han mummy, bas mood nahi hai khane ka." I told myself it was normal. Class 9 had started, board exams pressure, teenage body consciousness. All my teacher friends said the same. अंजलि, आजकल की लड़कियां डाइट करती हैं, इंस्टाग्राम पे मॉडल्स देखती हैं. So I let it go. Then came the clothes. My Kiara used to love her bright curtains, the ones with little mirrors and embroidery. Suddenly she only wore loose, oversized hoodies and track pants, even in Lucknow's scorching heat. She started wrapping her dupatta so tightly around herself that not an inch of skin showed. When I bought her new dresses for Eid, she refused to try them on. Mummy, I just want to be comfortable, she said, pulling a men's XL sweatshirt off the rack. I laughed it off. Arre, fashion change ho gaya na. But the locked door, that should have been the alarm I never ignored. Kiara started locking her room the moment she came home from school. Even when she was just doing homework or listening to music, if I knocked, she would shout, "1 minute, Mommy!" And I'd hear frantic rustling, drawers opening and closing. Then she would open the door just a crack, barely enough to poke her head out. "Kaya, hi, Mummy?" she'd ask, voice sharp, irritated. My sweet girl, who used to run to hug me the second I came home from work, now couldn't stand my presence. Her grades, which had always been top of the class, started slipping. My honor roll daughter began bringing home 60s and 70s. Teachers called, "Mrs. Sharma, Kiara seems distracted. She doesn't participate anymore. Is everything okay at home?" I assured them it was just the pressure of high school. Another lie I told myself. The dark circles under her eyes became permanent. Some mornings she looked like she hadn't slept in days. I'd gently ask, "Beta, are you sleeping properly?" And she would snap, "Han, Mummy, why do you keep asking me that?" The anger in her voice was new. My gentle, soft-spoken Kiara had turned irritable, defensive, like a wounded animal. But the thing that should have shattered my heart into a million pieces, the thing I still wake up screaming about, was how she started reacting to her father. Rajesh would walk up behind her to hug her or ruffle her hair, and Kiara would flinch. Not just a little, her whole body would go stiff, like she had been electrocuted. For a split second, pure fear flashed in her eyes. Then she would catch herself, force a tiny smile, and pull away. I saw it. Over and over again, I saw it. And what did I do? Nothing. I told myself, "अरे, teenage है ना, बच्चे अपने पेरेंट्स से थोड़ा दूर हो जाते हैं. She doesn't want physical affection anymore." I even laughed about it with Rajesh. हमारी बेटी बड़ी हो गई, अब पापा की झप्पी नहीं चाहिए. He laughed too and said, "हाँ, अब सिर्फ friends matter करते हैं." We both laughed like idiots. God, the guilt eats me alive every single day. I look back now and see the red flags waving so violently they could have knocked me over. But back then, I chose comfort over truth. I chose the perfect image of my perfect family over the screaming instinct in my gut that something was terribly, horribly wrong with my child. Because if something was wrong with Kiara, that meant something was wrong in our home. And I wasn't ready to face that. Not yet. If you're watching this and you've noticed even one of these signs in your child, the weight loss, the locked doors, the flinch when someone touches them, please don't do what I did. Don't wait. Don't make excuses. Like this video right now. Share it with every mother, every father, every teacher you know. Because the next part of my story is when I finally found the first real proof. And it broke something inside me that can never be fixed. The moment I held that diary in my hands, I knew Something was about to change forever. It was like the air in the room turned heavy, like the gods themselves were warning me to brace for what was coming. It was a Tuesday afternoon in June 2024. Kiara was at school, Rajesh was at his office, and I was alone at home, cleaning her room. She had been so secretive lately, always locking her door, hiding things. I wasn't snooping, I swear. I was just folding her clothes, trying to be a good mother. But then, under her bed, tucked inside an old school bag, I found it. A small black diary with a tiny heart-shaped lock. The lock was broken, as if she'd forced it open herself, in a moment of desperation. My hands trembled as I picked it up. A voice in my head screamed, "Put it back, Anjali. This is her private space." But another voice, louder, more primal, said, "Open it. You need to know." I sat on her bed, heart pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears, and flipped to the first page. The handwriting was Kiara's, but the words were from someone I didn't recognize. Someone broken. March 15, 2023. I hate myself. I want to disappear. He comes at night again. I say no. But he doesn't listen. He says it's our special secret, that Mummy will leave us if I tell. I feel so dirty. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I just want to die. I stopped breathing. My vision blurred with tears. I turned the page, praying it was a mistake, a misunderstanding, anything but what I feared. April 2nd, 2023. I tried locking the door, but he got angry. He said I'm ungrateful, that he's only showing me love. Love? This isn't love. I scrub my skin until it bleeds, but I still feel his hands. I can't tell Mummy. She loves him so much. She'll think I'm lying. She'll send me away. Every word was a knife. Every sentence carved deeper into my heart. My daughter, my baby, was writing about wanting to die. About him, Rajesh. The man I shared my bed with. The man who made her parathas, who carried her on his shoulders, who called her his Gudia. It couldn't be true. It couldn't. But then I read the worst entry of all, dated just 3 days earlier, June 9th, 2024. I can't do this anymore. Last night was the worst. He stayed for over an hour. I cried so loud, but he covered my mouth. He said if I tell anyone, he'll make sure I go to an orphanage. I'm so scared. I want to run away, but where will I go? I keep throwing up. I keep cutting my arms so I can feel something else. Anything else. God, please make me invisible. I dropped the diary. My body shook so violently I thought I was having a seizure. I ran to the bathroom and vomited until there was nothing left. My baby was cutting herself. My baby was scared of her own father. My baby was begging God to make her disappear. And I had missed it all. The guilt was a tsunami, drowning me. How could I not see? How could I let her suffer alone? For over a year. I was her mother. I was supposed to protect her. Instead, I was laughing with her abuser, sleeping next to him, telling her to spend more time with him. I had failed her in every way a mother could fail. I wanted to scream, to confront Rajesh right then, to tear his lying face apart with my bare hands. But something stopped me. A tiny rational part of my brain whispered, "You need proof, Anjali. He'll deny it. He'll call you crazy. He'll turn it against Kiara." I knew that voice was right. Rajesh was charming, respected, the perfect father. No one would believe my daughter's word against his, not without evidence. So I wiped my tears, picked up the diary, and hid it in my almirah, behind my old saris. I didn't sleep that night. I lay next to Rajesh, listening to his snores, feeling like I was sleeping next to a stranger, a monster. Every time he moved, my heart raced, thinking he was getting up to go to her room. The next morning, I called my best friend, Seema, a child psychologist who worked with abuse survivors. I could barely speak through my sobs. Seema, I found Kiara's diary. I think Rajesh is hurting her. She didn't hesitate. Anjali, listen to me. Get a hidden camera. Today, if it's true, you need undeniable proof for Kiara's sake. That afternoon, I ordered a spy camera from Amazon, a tiny device disguised as a phone charger with night vision and audio. It arrived the next day. My hands shook as I unwrapped it, knowing what it meant. I was about to spy on my own husband in my own daughter's room. What kind of mother does that? But what kind of mother lets her child suffer in silence? If you're watching this and your gut is screaming that something is wrong with your child, don't wait like I did. Don't let another night pass. Like this video right now, share it with every mother you know, because every second you delay could be another second your child is suffering. The next part of my story is when I finally set up that camera. And what I saw that night changed everything forever. I wish I could tell you that putting that camera in place was quick and easy. It wasn't. Every second felt like I was betraying my own daughter's privacy, crossing a line no mother should ever have to cross. But the diary entries were burning holes in my soul. I had no choice left. The package arrived on a Thursday afternoon, while Kiara was at dance practice and Rajesh was still at work. My hand shook so badly I could barely tear open the Amazon box. Inside was the smallest device I had ever seen, a plain white phone charger with a hidden lens and microphone exactly like Seema had described. The instructions said it had 1080p night vision, motion detection, and live feed straight to my phone. I felt sick just holding it. I stood in Kiara's room for a full 10 minutes, staring at her bookshelf, her study table, her soft toys that still sat on the bed, even though she was 14 now. This room used to be her safe place. Pink walls we painted together, fairy lights above the bed, trophies from dance competitions. I had helped create this sanctuary, and now I was about to turn it into a crime scene. Tears rolled down my cheeks as I finally chose the spot, right behind a framed photo of Kiara and her best friend at Marine Drive. From that angle, the camera could see the entire room, especially the bed. I plugged it in, opened the app and tested it. The picture was crystal clear, even in the dark. I could see every corner, hear every breath. I felt like the worst mother in the world. That evening, everything looked normal on the surface. Rajesh came home with Kiara's favorite paneer rolls from the Sharma Bandu shop. We sat together, laughed about office stories. Kiara picked at her food as usual and excused herself early. Rajesh kissed her forehead like always and said, "Good night, Mary Gudia." She flinched just a tiny bit, but I saw it. My stomach turned. I told them I had a terrible headache from the heat, a lie, and took 2 Saridon tablets so Rajesh would believe I'd sleep like the dead. I even made a show of yawning and switching off my bedside lamp early. Rajesh kissed my cheek and said, "Rest well, Jan." I wanted to throw up at his touch. I lay in the dark, phone hidden under my pillow, camera app already open, heart beating so loud I was sure he could hear it. 10:30 p.m. Lights off in our room. 11 p.m. Rajesh's breathing became slow and steady. 11:15 p.m. Still nothing. 11:30 p.m. I started doubting myself. Maybe I was going mad. Maybe the diary was about a boy at school. Maybe I had just violated my daughter's trust for nothing. Then at 11:47 p.m., I felt the mattress shift. Rajesh slowly, carefully slid his arm from under my neck. I froze, kept my breathing deep and even, the way I had practiced all day. I heard the soft creak of our bedroom door, his bare feet padding down the corridor. My blood turned to ice. I counted to 30, then pulled out my phone with trembling fingers. The app loaded. Kiara's room appeared on the screen, lit by the faint glow of her night lamp. She was lying on her side, facing away from the camera, but I could tell she was awake. Her body was rigid, her breathing shallow. The door opened. Rajesh walked in wearing his usual kurta pajama, closed the door gently behind him and locked it. I heard the click loud and clear through the phone speaker. My heart stopped. He walked straight to her bed and sat down. Kiara, Sona, Papa aa gaya, he whispered in that same soft voice he used when she was 5 and had nightmares. Kiara didn't move at first. Then she slowly turned over. Even on the tiny phone screen, I could see the terror on her face. Papa, please, not tonight, she begged, voice barely above a whisper. I have a test tomorrow. I'm so tired. Rajesh smiled. That same smile I once thought was loving. Arre meri godiya, thodi dar hi to hai. You know Papa can't sleep without spending special time with his princess. He reached out and stroked her hair. Kiara shrank back, but there was nowhere to go. The bed was against the wall. Mummy is sleeping, he continued, voice low and soothing, like poison wrapped in sugar. She took tablets. She won't wake up for hours. It's just us. Like always. I watched his hand move from her hair to her shoulder, then lower. Kiara squeezed her eyes shut. A tear rolled down her cheek. What happened after that? I cannot describe every detail. Some things are too evil, too violating to put into words. But I saw everything. I heard everything. I watched my husband sexually abuse my 14-year-old daughter for 38 minutes. While I lay 30 feet away, helpless, recording it all. I bit my fist so hard, it bled to stop myself from screaming. When it was over, Rajesh kissed her forehead, like any normal father would. Whispered, Good night, Mary Jaan. Remember, this is our little secret. We don't want Mummy to get hurt, do we? And walked out. He came back to our bed, slid in beside me, wrapped his arm around my waist, and within minutes was snoring peacefully. On my phone screen, I watched Kiara curl into a ball, stuff the corner of her blanket into her mouth, and cry without making a single sound. I died 1,000 times that night. If this story is breaking your heart, the way it broke mine, please hit the like button right now. Share this video with every parent, every teacher, every aunt, uncle you know, because the next part is the night I finally took my daughter and ran. And you need to know what happened when the monster woke up and realized his secret was out. I didn't sleep after what I saw. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Kiara's face on that tiny screen, eyes shut, tears rolling, body frozen, while her own father destroyed her childhood. At 2:47 a.m., something inside me snapped. I could not let her stay in this house for one more minute. I slipped out of bed, barefoot, heart pounding like a drum. Rajesh was snoring peacefully, the same man who had just raped our daughter 30 feet away. I wanted to take the steel water bottle from the bedside table and smash his head in, but I didn't. Because Kiara needed me alive, not in jail. I tiptoed to her room. The door was still locked from the inside. I knocked softly, 3 times. Our old secret code when she was little and had nightmares. A second later, the lock clicked. Kiara opened the door just a crack, her eyes swollen, face pale in the dim light. "Mummy?" she whispered, terrified he had sent me. I pushed the door gently and stepped inside, closing it behind me. The smell of fear in that room almost knocked me down. "Beta," I whispered, kneeling in front of her. "Mummy knows everything. I saw everything tonight. I believe you. I'm so sorry I didn't know sooner." For one heartbeat, she just stared at me, eyes wide, like she couldn't believe the words. Then she collapsed into my arms and sobbed like the world was ending. You believe me?" she choked out between tears. "Papa said you would hate me, that you would call me a liar, that you would send me away." Every word was a bullet to my heart. "Never," I said fiercely, holding her so tight I was scared I'd hurt her. "This is not your fault. None of it. He is the monster, not you. I am getting you out right now. Tonight." She pulled back, panic flashing again. "He'll find us. He has the keys to everything. He'll kill us." "He won't," I said, cupping her wet face. "Because I have proof. I recorded everything on camera. He will never touch you again. I promise on my life." Her eyes searched mine, looking for any sign I was lying. When she saw I wasn't, something broke open inside her. She started crying harder, but this time it was different. It was relief. It was hope. "Pack a small bag," I whispered. "Only what you need. We're going to your Priyanka Mausi's house right now." She moved like a robot at first, hands shaking, but within 10 minutes, she had a backpack with 2 sets of clothes, her school ID, and the little Ganesh G locket I gave her on her 10th birthday. I didn't take anything for myself. I didn't want to make a single extra sound. At 3:28 a.m., we slipped out of the main door. I left it unlocked on purpose, let him wake up and realize his birds had flown. The street was silent, only dogs barking somewhere far away. I started the scooty we keep for emergencies. Kiara clung to my waist, face buried in my back, still crying silently. The night air was cool, but we were both burning with fear and rage. We reached my sister Priyanka's flat in Indiranagar in 20 minutes. I banged on the door like a mad woman until the lights came on. Priyanka opened the door in her nightdress, hair messy, eyes wide. "Anjali, pagal ho gayi ho? 3 baje kya?" When she saw Kira's face, swollen and tear-streaked, she stopped mid-sentence. One look at me and she understood. She pulled us both inside without a word and locked the door. As soon as we were safe, Kiara collapsed on the sofa and cried like I had never heard before. Big, gut-wrenching sobs that shook her whole body. Priyanka held her while I stood there, tears streaming, repeating the same thing over and over. "You're safe now, beta. You're safe. He can't hurt you anymore." At 4:15 a.m., I took Priyanka's phone, so Rajesh couldn't track mine, and called the police emergency number. My voice was surprisingly calm. "Hello, this is Anjali Sharma. I want to report child sexual abuse. My husband, Rajesh Sharma, has been raping our 14-year-old daughter for over a year. I have video evidence. We are at a safe location. Please send a women police officer and child welfare committee immediately." The officer on the line went silent for 2 seconds, then became deadly serious. "Ma'am, stay where you are. We are sending a team right now. You did the right thing." By 4:45 a.m., 2 women constables and a CWC counselor arrived. They took my statement, watched the video on my phone, and I saw their faces harden with every second. One constable actually had to step outside for a minute to compose herself. Kiara gave her first statement that night, wrapped in Priyanka's shawl, voice barely audible, but she told them everything. When she finished, the counselor held her hand and said, "You are the bravest girl I have ever met." At 6:03 a.m., we got the call. Rajesh Sharma had been arrested outside our house when he stepped out for his morning tea. He was shouting that his crazy wife had kidnapped their daughter. The video shut him up forever. If you are a mother, an aunt, a sister, a teacher, and something in your gut is telling you a child is not safe, do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for better proof. Act tonight. Hit that like button right now. Share this video with every single person you know. Because the next part is the courtroom battle where Kiara had to face her monster again. And I swear on everything holy, you need to hear how my 14-year-old daughter found the strength to destroy him. The first time I saw Rajesh, again, was 72 hours after we fled. He was brought into the Lucknow district court in handcuffs, wearing the same blue kurta he used for Diwali pujas. He looked thinner, eyes red, but when his gaze found me and Kiara across the room, he did something that made my blood freeze. He smiled. Not a guilty smile, not a broken man's smile, a cold, angry, "How dare you do this to me?" smile. The bail hearing lasted only 12 minutes. The prosecutor played 30 seconds of the hidden camera footage, just enough for the judge to see Rajesh entering the room and hear him say, "Our special secret." The entire courtroom went dead silent. One lady lawyer put her hand over her mouth and started crying. Rajesh's lawyer tried to argue privacy violation, mental stress, teenage rebellion. The judge cut him off with one line, "This is a child being raped by her own father." Bail rejected, custody extended. When the hammer fell, Rajesh finally lost his mask. He shouted across the room, "Anjali, you're destroying our family. Kiara, tell them you're lying." Kiara, sitting beside me, wrapped in my dupatta, went completely white. She started shaking so hard I thought she would faint. I pulled her close and whispered, "Don't look at him, beta. He has no power over you anymore." But he kept screaming until the guards dragged him away. That was just the beginning. Over the next 4 months, the case became the talk of Lucknow. Newspapers called it the perfect father nightmare. Reporters camped outside my sister's flat. Rajesh's family, his parents, his brother started a campaign saying I was mentally unstable, that Kiara had been brainwashed for custody and property. They even went to the media claiming Kiara had a secret boyfriend and was making up stories to hide her shame. Every lie felt like acid on our wounds. But then, something unexpected happened. 3 other girls came forward. One was 12 when Rajesh coached her dance team 5 years ago. She told the police he used to call her for extra practice, alone. Another was the daughter of his colleague. He had touched her inappropriately during a family picnic. The third was a neighbor's daughter who said Rajesh offered her special tuition when she was 11. All of them had stayed silent out of fear and shame. Our case gave them courage. The charges went from 1 to 7: repeated rape of a minor, criminal intimidation, sexual assault on multiple children. The prosecutor told us, with the video, the diary, Kiara's statement, and now 3 more victims. This man is going away for decades. But there was one condition. Kiara would have to testify in open court. I will never forget the night before her testimony. She couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. She kept asking, "Mummy, what if I freeze? What if they don't believe me? What if he looks at me and I forget everything?" I held her face and said, "Beta, you have already survived the worst. Tomorrow you only have to tell the truth. And the truth is the most powerful weapon in the world." The trial day came. Kiara wore a simple cream salwar kameez, hair tied in a neat plait, no dupatta over her head for the first time in months. She looked so small walking to the witness box. Rajesh sat in the accused cage, staring at her with pure hatred. The prosecutor started gently. "Kiara, in your own words, can you tell the court when this started?" Kiara took a deep breath. Her voice was tiny at first, but it grew stronger with every sentence. "It started when I was 12. The father-daughter ice cream dates. That's when he first touched me wrongly under the table. When I tried to move away, he said all papas do this with their special daughters. Slowly, it became more. Every night after Mummy slept, he would come to my room. He had a duplicate key. If I locked the door, he would get angry the next day. He said if I ever told anyone, Mummy would die of heart attack, or the police would put me in a horrible orphanage. He said no one would believe a daughter over a respected father. The courtroom was so quiet, you could hear people breathing. Then came the cross-examination. Rajesh's lawyer was a famous defense advocate from Delhi. He smiled at Kiara like a shark. "Miss Sharma, isn't it true you were angry with your father for scolding you about studies?" "No. Isn't it possible you misunderstood normal fatherly affection?" Kiara looked straight at him. "Being raped is not fatherly affection." A gasp went through the room. He tried again. "Why didn't you scream for your mother?" "Because he said he would kill her, and because I was terrified, and because I was only 12. Every question he threw, Kiara answered calmly, clearly, without a single tear. By the end, even the judge was looking at the lawyer with disgust. When she stepped down, she walked straight into my arms. The entire gallery, mostly women, stood up and started clapping. The judge had to bang the gavel to restore order. The jury took less than 3 hours. Guilty on all 7 counts. When the verdict was read, Rajesh collapsed in the dock. His mother started wailing. His father shouted that the judge was bought. But nothing could touch us anymore. The sentencing came 2 weeks later. Kiara read her victim impact statement herself. She stood tall and said, "My father stole my childhood. He made me hate my own body. He used the word love to destroy me. But he did not break me. I'm still here. I'm healing. And I want him to spend the rest of his life knowing he will never hurt another little girl again." The judge gave him 30 years rigorous imprisonment, no parole for 25 years, and lifelong registration as a child sex offender. As they dragged him away in chains, he looked at me one last time. I looked back. I wanted him to see the fire in my eyes. I wanted him to know you picked the wrong mother to mess with. If this story has shaken you to your core, hit the like button right now. Share it with every parent, every teacher, every daughter you know. Because the next part is how Kiara rose from the ashes and how we turned our pain into a weapon to protect thousands of children. You cannot miss what my daughter did next. The first year after the verdict was hell disguised as healing. Some nights, Kiara woke up screaming, convinced Rajesh was standing at the foot of the bed. Some mornings, she couldn't get out of bed at all. There were days She would sit in the shower for hours, scrubbing her skin until it bled, whispering, "I still feel dirty, Mummy." I cried in the kitchen so she wouldn't hear me. But slowly, painfully, light started creeping back in. We moved to a tiny 2-bedroom flat in Gomti Naga, far away from our old house that still smelled like him. I sold every single thing he ever touched. His clothes, his watch, his favorite recliner. I even broke the marble Ganesh Murti he used to pray to every morning. Because how dare that statue watch him destroy my child and stay silent? Therapy became our lifeline. Kiara started seeing Dr. Richa Mayam 3 times a week. At first, she would just sit in silence for the entire hour. Then one day she came out and said, "Mummy, Dr. Richa told me the shame belongs to him, not me." That was the first time in 18 months I saw a tiny spark in her eyes. She rejoined dance class. Her guru, Sharmila Ma'am, welcomed her with open arms and never once asked questions. The first time Kiara performed again, a small piece on Women's Day, she danced to Agiri Nandini. When she finished, the entire audience was crying. My daughter was moving like someone who had decided to take her body back. School was harder. Most of her old friends vanished. Mothers pulled their daughters away, whispering. Some even said, "वो लड़की characterless है, उसके साथ मत खेलो." But 3 girls stayed. 3 became 10, then 20. They started calling themselves Kiara's Army. They wore black bands on their wrists that said, "I believe survivors." At 16, Kiara stood first in her class 10 boards, 98.4%. When the results came, she looked at me and said, "This is for every night he told me I was worthless." That day, she cut her hair short, dyed a streak purple and told me, "Mummy, I want to become a psychologist. I want to sit in that chair and help other children who feel broken like I did." We started speaking in schools. Our first talk was at a government girls' school in old Lucknow. 500 girls sat in complete silence while Kiara spoke. "I'm not ashamed anymore. The man who hurt me is in jail. I am free. And if any of you are being hurt by someone you're supposed to trust, please tell someone. You are not alone." After the talk, 23 girls came forward. 23? In one school, the media started calling her Lucknow's bravest daughter. Invitations poured in. TEDx, Josh Talks, women's conferences. Kiara would always say the same thing on stage. "He tried to destroy me with his special love. I turned that pain into fire. And now I burn for every child who is still scared to speak." She started a small Instagram page, Kiara Speaks Up, with just one post, a photo of her black band dummy and the caption, "Silence protects monsters. Your voice protects children." Today it has 340,000 followers. Every week, girls DM her the stories. Every week, we forward them to Childline and trusted NGOs. We have helped rescue 11 children so far. 11. And me? I left my old school and now travel across Uttar Pradesh, training teachers and parents on child sexual abuse prevention. I show them the exact signs I missed. I make them promise, hand on heart, that they will never ignore a child's silence again. Every night before sleep, Kiara and I have a ritual we started in therapy. We tell each other 3 good things that happened that day. Some nights hers are, "I helped a 12-year-old girl tell her teacher today, I danced for 2 hours and didn't think of him once. I laughed so hard with my friends that my stomach hurt." And mine are always, "I saw my daughter smile like the sun came back." Another mother called to say she caught the abuse early because of our story. I am raising a warrior. Kiara is 17 now. She has been accepted to Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi, Psychology Honours. She wants to do her masters at TESS and open a healing center for child survivors one day. She still has nightmares. She still flinches sometimes when a man raises his voice. Healing is not a straight line, but the days she wakes up smiling are now more than the days she wakes up crying. She told me last month, holding my hands tight, "Mummy, he took 3 years of my childhood. I'm not giving him one more day of my future." That is my daughter. The girl who was told she was nothing but a dirty secret now stands in front of thousands and teaches the world how to protect its children. If this part has given you even a drop of hope, hit that like button harder than ever. Share this video with every single person in your phone, because the final part is the most important. It's the message Kiara and I want every parent, every teacher, and every child in India to hear. It could save the next Kiara before another monster steals her voice. This is the part I have waited the entire video to tell you. Not just my story, not just Kiara's survival, but the truth that can stop another daughter from living our nightmare. Please, don't skip even 1 second. If you love a child, this is for them. Child sexual abuse is not a big city problem. It is not a poor family problem. It is not a someone else's problem. It happens in the safest looking homes, behind the happiest family photos, by the people we trust the most. In India, 1 in every 2 children faces some form of sexual abuse before age 18, and 90% of the time, the abuser is someone the child knows and loves. Father, uncle, grandfather, tuition teacher, coach, neighbor, even family priest. I missed every single warning sign because I was too busy believing we were the perfect family. So let me give you the exact signs I ignored. Promise me you will remember them. Sudden weight loss or eating changes, wearing extra layers of clothes even in summer, locking the bedroom door all the time, flinching when a particular person touches them, dark circles, nightmares, bedwetting again, dropping grades, losing interest in favorite activities, becoming angry or silent when asked simple questions, saying "I feel dirty" or "I want to disappear." If you see even one of these in a child, act. Do not wait for more proof. Do not worry about breaking the family. The family is already broken the moment a child is being harmed. To every parent watching, trust your gut. If something feels even slightly off, ask. Ask again. Ask gently. Ask privately. Tell the child, "No matter what, I will believe you. I will protect you." I wish I had said those words to Kiara sooner. To every teacher, tuition, sir, madam, dance coach, sports coach, you see children more hours than parents sometimes. You notice when a child stops smiling. You notice when they avoid a certain adult. Do not stay silent for reputation. Report it. Call Childline 1098 anonymously if you have to. One call can save a life. To every child or teenager watching this alone, if someone is touching you in a way that feels wrong, even if they say it's love or our secret, it is not your fault. You are not dirty. You are not bad. You are not responsible. Tell one safe adult. If they don't listen, tell another. Keep telling until someone believes you. You can message Kiara's page, Kiara Speaks Up, anytime, day or night. We will guide you to help. You can call Childline India 1098. Free 24 hours in Hindi, English, and many regional languages. They will protect you. You are not alone. Millions of us have survived. You will too. To every aunt, uncle, grandparent, stop saying beta, papa ko hug karo if the child doesn't want to. Stop forcing children to sit on laps or kiss cheeks. A child's no must be respected, even if it's family. That is how we teach them their body belongs to them. Kiara and I have made a promise. We will keep speaking in schools, colleges, villages, mohallas until every child in Uttar Pradesh knows they are believed. We are writing a book together from a mother who didn't see and a daughter who couldn't speak. It will be free for schools. Kiara turns 18 next year, and her first wish is to travel across India, talking to children directly. She says, "If my story saves even one girl from 3 years of hell, everything was worth it." We still have hard days. Kiara sometimes wakes up crying. I still feel guilt that crushes my chest. But we have more good days now. We laugh, we dance in the kitchen, we dream big. Last week, Kiara said something that made me cry happy tears. "Mummy, I used to pray to disappear. Now I pray to be heard. And because of you, I am being heard by lakhs of people. Thank you for saving me." I didn't save her alone. You are saving her right now by watching till the end, by liking, by sharing, by promising to protect the children around you. So here is my final request. From one mother to another, hit the like button if this video touched your heart. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because Kiara and I will keep sharing stories and safety tips every week. Share this video with every parent, teacher, relative, school WhatsApp group you have. And please, right now, in the comments, tell me, which city or village are you watching from? What time is it there? And have you ever seen any of these signs in a child close to you? Your comment gives me strength. Your share can save a child tonight. This is Anjali Sharma signing off from Lucknow. Kiara and I are no longer victims. We are survivors. We are voices. We are hope. And together with you, we will make sure no child ever has to hide a diary full of pain again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Jai Hind. And remember, silence protects monsters. Your voice protects children.